Hey guys, my name is Noah Mitchell. I'm 17, and I never thought I'd be the one making this kind of video. 6 months ago, I was just like you, scrolling through TikTok until 2 a.m., living for the weekend, rolling my eyes whenever someone talked about God or heaven or anything spiritual. I wasn't against it exactly, I just didn't care. I had other things to worry about: getting my license, saving for college, figuring out if Amber from my chemistry class liked me back. But then, something happened that changed everything. I died. For 4 minutes and 32 seconds, my heart stopped beating. And what I experienced in those moments has completely shattered everything I thought I knew about life, death, and what comes after. This isn't clickbait. This isn't me trying to go viral. Honestly, I debated for months whether to even share this, but I can't stay silent anymore. What I saw was too important. It was a Friday afternoon in October. School had just let out, and my best friend Jake and I were headed to his car in the student parking lot. We were laughing about something stupid. I don't even remember when it happened. I never saw the truck coming. Jake says it ran a red light, swerved to avoid another car, and lost control. 1 second we were joking around, the next I heard tires screeching, Jake screaming my name, and then nothing. Actually, not nothing. That's what's so crazy. The first thing I remember is floating. Like, literally hovering above my own body. I could see everything: my crumpled form on the asphalt, blood pooling beneath my head. Jake on his knees beside me, sobbing. Teachers rushing out of the building. Someone calling 911. Students gathering, some crying, others filming with their phones. But here's the weird part. I felt completely calm. No pain, no fear. Just this strange, peaceful detachment, like I was watching a movie about someone else. Then something changed. A light appeared in the distance. And guys, this wasn't some warm, glowing, come toward the light kind of thing you see in movies. This was intense, powerful. It didn't invite, it commanded. I was being pulled toward it, like gravity, but stronger. As I moved closer, I felt something shift inside me. Not fear exactly, but a kind of knowing. A certainty that whatever was coming next wasn't just about me. And then I saw him. Standing in the middle of that light was Jesus. Not the soft, gentle Jesus from Sunday school posters with the flowing hair and kind smile. This was different. This Jesus was overwhelming, majestic, holy. His presence alone made me feel like everything inside me was exposed every lie I'd ever told, every cruel thought, every selfish moment. He didn't speak at first. He just looked at me with eyes that seemed to contain entire universes. And when our eyes met, I knew instantly this wasn't a dream or hallucination. This was more real than anything I'd ever experienced in my life. When he finally spoke, his voice wasn't loud, but it seemed to vibrate through my entire being. Noah, he said my name, and it felt like he was speaking it for the first time, like he created it. Then he said something that has haunted me ever since. Your generation is walking blindly toward destruction. Before I could respond, visions began flooding my mind, not like watching a movie, but like being inside one, experiencing everything. The first vision showed this massive church, beautiful building, stained glass windows, packed with people. But something was off. The people were distracted, bored. Some scrolled through phones. Others whispered to each other or dozed off. The pastor's words sounded hollow, rehearsed. And the saddest part? Jesus wasn't inside. He stood at the doors, knocking, but no one heard him over the sound of their own voices. They call me Lord, he said quietly, but they do not know me. The second vision was harder to watch. I saw our world literally burning. Not just with actual fires, though there were those too, but burning spiritually. Families torn apart, truth mocked and twisted. People celebrating things that destroy them while calling it freedom. I saw classrooms where kids were taught there is no truth, only feelings, screens filled with garbage that glorified darkness, music that made rebellion sound like courage, and people worshipped it all fame, money, pleasure, but their eyes were empty, hollow. Jesus whispered, "Darkness has become entertainment." The third vision is the one I can't forget no matter how hard I try. I saw a line of people endless, stretching as far as I could see, walking slowly towards something I couldn't fully make out, but instinctively knew was hell. And they didn't even realize it. Teenagers, kids, adults, some people I recognized from school, from my neighborhood, a girl I'd flirted with at a party last summer, my old math teacher, a kid who used to bully me in middle school. They all looked sort of dazed, like sleepwalkers. Some were laughing, taking selfies, completely oblivious. Others looked numb, resigned, but none of them looked up. None turned around. I tried to scream, "Stop! Don't go! Turn around!" But they couldn't hear me. Jesus turned to me, his eyes filled with a pain I can't describe, and said, "This is why you must return." He placed his hand on my forehead and said, "Go back. Tell them. Warn them." The next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital, screaming. The lights were blinding. Machines were beeping like crazy. Nurses rushed in, holding me down while I thrashed and cried, saying over and over, "I saw him! I saw Jesus! He's real!" The doctors later told my parents I had flatlined for nearly 5 minutes. They called it a medical anomaly and spontaneous resuscitation. One doctor suggested it was a hallucination caused by lack of oxygen to my brain. But I know what I saw. I know it wasn't a dream. When my mom came in, she was sobbing with relief. But when I told her everything, the visions, Jesus' voice, the warning, she got really quiet. Then she whispered, "I've been praying for you to find him for years." I think she always knew I was drifting, even when I tried to hide it. The hardest part came when I tried telling others. Jake listened politely but kept saying, "Dude, you nearly died. Your brain was oxygen deprived. Of course you saw wild stuff." Others were worse. Some friends stopped hanging out with me. People at school started calling me Jesus freak behind my back. My school counselor suggested I might need medication for PTSD. One of my teachers called my parents, concerned I was having religious delusions. Even at church, people weren't sure what to make of me. I spoke at youth group, and half the kids looked at me like I was insane, but others, they felt it. This girl, Madison, who I'd known since elementary school but never really talked to, broke down crying. Later she told me, "I've been so far from God, but something woke up inside me when you spoke." We prayed together right there, and I saw something change in her eyes. Look, I get the skepticism. 6 months ago, I would have been the first person to roll my eyes at someone like me. I would have commented "cap" and scrolled on by. If you're watching this thinking I'm making it up for views or likes, I don't blame you. But I'm not here for validation. I'm here because I made a promise. Because what I saw terrified Minot. Because Jesus is cruel. But because so many people I care about are sleepwalking toward a cliff. People are distracted by noise screens, games, drama, trends, never once thinking about what comes next. Churches are more concerned with being relevant than being real. We're entertaining ourselves to death while Jesus stands at the door, knocking, and no one can hear him over their Spotify playlists and Netflix binges. A few weeks after I got out of the hospital, I had another dream. Not a vision like before, but just as clear. I saw myself holding a torch, walking through a dark forest. Behind me were other torches lighting up one by one. Some flickered out, but others burned, even brighter than mine. I heard his voice say, "Let your flame be a warning and a guide." Since then, I've shared my story anywhere that will listen, youth groups, campus ministry meetings, even created this channel. Sometimes people mock me. Sometimes they're angry. But sometimes, and these are the moments that keep me going, sometimes they cry. They message me saying things like, "I've been so lost, but something told me to watch your video," or "I haven't prayed in years, but last night I couldn't sleep until I did. I'm not special. I'm not perfect. I mess up daily." Sometimes I still want to go back to my old life playing video games for hours, not thinking about eternity, pretending everything is fine, being normal. But I can't. I've seen what's at stake. If you're watching this, please hear me. Jesus is real. Not the watered-down social media Jesus. Not the just be nice Jesus. Not the do whatever feels good Jesus. The real Jesus the King, who sees through every mask you wear and loves you anyway. The one who died so you wouldn't have to stay lost. The one who's coming back, and soon. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't swipe away from this video thinking, "I'll figure it out later." Later isn't promised. I should know I literally died at 17. If you're drifting, if your faith has gone cold, or if you've never even considered that God might be real, this is your wake-up call. Don't be one of those people I saw in that line. You were made for more than that. Jesus is reaching for you right now, in this moment. I can't make you take his hand, but I had to tell you he's there. Drop a comment below about what this story made you feel. Share this with someone you care about. And if you want to talk more or have questions, my DMs are open. No judgment, just conversation. Because that's why I'm still here. That's why I got a second chance. To tell you what I saw and to ask you one question. If you died tonight, do you know where you'd go? Think about it. Really think about it. This is Noah Mitchell, and this is my testimony. Thanks for listening.